y'all. Good morning. Welcome back to Ascending Leadership Mastery. Let's do a check-in. These are speakers that I got, and in this season of life where I'm like replacing all of the cool stuff I used to have that I've lost over the years. And I used to have these really cool wavy speakers that lit up really nice. And this is the closest that I could find, but it is giving Twin Towers. Oh, also I got a new shirt. Hey. It says, stop pretending your racism is patriotism. Outfit number 1 of the day. I have to clean my car today. So I was just wrestling with the fucking hose. We're gonna use the Light Series Tarot, but I did get the hose all set and ready, and I started draining Niles' pool so we can refill that. It's hot as fuck here in Arizona. I'm in northern Arizona. It's gonna be 100 or so today for like the next few weeks until the monsoons start. Also, I didn't put any makeup on, which I usually do a little bit of. What'd you get? Good morning. I got 2 books yesterday. I gave this copy that I had to a friend, so I got this one again. Cleve Benally's No Spiritual Surrender. He's Dene, and that's the land that I'm on. And he passed away. He was a comrade of ours. I've talked about him before. And I got this book written by Rita Marley, My Life with Bob Marley, No Woman, No Cry, which I'm a little nervous to read because I think I have Bob Marley up on a pedestal, but I bought it because I want to know the truth. And I think I already know the truth, so that'll be an interesting read. Okay. And anyway, that's my shit that I've got on my desk right here. Alright, we've got the Emperor coming out. Emperor came out last time too, really quick when we used this deck. These cards are like crazy. I'm gonna move this somewhere. Okay. Emperor, 4 of Swords. Healing from heartbreak, returning home to yourself with that red string theory between your heart and yourself. Maybe there's an Emperor coming in to support you in that healing. Maybe you are healing so that you can get into that energy. We have the Queen of Swords and the Page of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles. Queen of Swords are very much guarded, with good reason, right? You don't go through this and get to this without learning how to protect your heart. There's that little cup. The cups represent emotions. Sword energy is what I always get swords and wands mixed up. Swords is air energy. So kind of giving aloof, but aloof within the sense of like defense. So if you are this Emperor energy, the Emperor energy is the masculine that has successfully gone through each suit, earth, air, fire, water, and learned the lessons from the first of those to the king or queen of those, right? The highest. It's someone that's king in this case because it's the Emperor. It's someone who's graduated and has found balance within their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual selves, okay? And the masculine is about the being or doing energy, so really rooted here on the 3D, okay? And then we have the Page of Cups. This one is it gives an interesting energy, and I don't think that I always have to look this one up because, there's like this little pig on here. When pigs fly. The world is my flourishing oyster, and I am excited to see what happens next. Is the affirmation associated? It gives something different. I think maybe there's this disbelief that things can work out. Maybe you're struggling with that, or maybe you've just stepped into this Emperor energy where you're recognizing that you have control over your manifestations, either way. I'm also wearing my guillotine earrings, the whole vibe. Okay, and then we have the 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles is about teamwork, but it can also lead to can lead to some conflict. So I'll just say it like that. Pentacles is your earth or material energy, money, abundance. And sometimes when we collaborate on things, we can find ourselves broke it yesterday. We can find ourselves getting fucked over if we trust the wrong people. So there's just a little caution there, especially as you are healing from this heartbreak, continuing to hold yourself in that high Emperor energy. Don't let anyone come in and coerce you into letting your guard down, collaborating on something that you have put the work into. Sometimes with this, we become our own self-fulfilling prophecy, and we can fuck ourselves over, right? So if we come from this space of being guarded, and we know that the world is our oyster, but there's this little pig flying above a cup, so it's like, how are you feeling legitimately about what you're doing? And then maybe you're feeling like you need some help or need some support, and someone comes in. Next we have the Hangman coming out, so be careful. There's a lot of caution here, just the progression of this. Be careful. This Seven of Wands also speaks to like kind of putting yourself in a bubble, followed by the Eight of Wands chronologically, which gives very fast movement. So like maybe you feel like you're, taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But if you are feeling like that, instead of letting someone else come in and either dictate the situation or take control of your ideas or try to profit off of, it's so bad. Can't stand the ring light. When I have glasses, it irritates the fuck out of me. I don't know. Okay, that's acceptable. You can still see it in my glasses. But either way, don't let anyone come in and get you back. Think of yourself in this process of being slingshotted forward. When a slingshot is pulled back, it's not so that more pebbles can join in, it's so that you can, launch yourself. Continue walking away from what doesn't serve you, right? Remember, you never want to feel, so the Four of Swords follows the Three of Swords, which is betrayal, extreme heartbreak. And so this Four of Swords is that resting, nesting period of healing that gets you back into this nobody's gonna fuck with me ever again like that energy, right? So this is very much speaking to boundaries. Yeah, we have the Three of Swords coming out after the Eight of Cups. So if you don't walk away from what doesn't serve you, you're going to continue this cycle of heartbreak. I don't know if this is about love necessarily. I feel like with the Emperor being the first energy out, this is very much how to like step into that boss daddy under the patriarch energy, if you're a man or a woman, or a she, they, the he, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. This Emperor energy is very much boss daddy, zaddy energy, right? And he's holding a chess piece, and I don't know enough about chess to know which piece that is, but for those of you who are watching, these two are giving very much the same energy, even though they're not necessarily compatible within the tarot. This, I'm watching, I'm ready. There's this energy of being prepared, so you don't have to get prepared with both of these energies. I will do what I have to do to make sure that no one takes my king, that no one checkmates me, that no one can harm me again. So anytime you're feeling like you're getting out of that energy, do what you can to get back into it. And I've done a lot of shorts to kind of support that. I really rewired my brain using affirmation and positive thinking the law of attraction is a very real thing. What you put out in the universe, you definitely get back, whether it's good, bad, evil, whatever. You're going to receive that energy back. It's going to come to you in the forms of lessons, addictions, behaviors, habits, people who are shitty as fuck, right? And that's what this caution is with this Three of Pentacles. When someone new is coming in, don't open yourself up to allowing them access to you just because they're there. Really practice discernment and detachment as you are in this process, as you are solidifying your own plans with this Emperor energy. Don't let anyone come in and shoot you off your rocker. Yesterday's reading was about like being fully, authentically able to express yourself. And there was I used the What's the Tea deck, which I don't usually like to do, but there was this heavy energy of hater. There was a lot of hater energy. So, once you learn how to transmute energy by setting boundaries and walking away and being ready to defend yourself, it's Emperor energy all day long, right? Nobody fucks with the Emperor. They know why. Why would they? Being able to stand so firm in that, once you learn how to transmute energy, all energy that you're receiving is fuel. It doesn't matter what the intention or thought the person has about you sending it. It's just energy. What the person was thinking about you is none of your concern, but you can use that energy to transmute into more power. It's a very metaphysical process. This is not something tangible that you can touch, but it's very real. So I don't know, it might be a little too out there for some folks. But transmuting energy by keeping your own vibration where you know you need to be, balanced, doing the right thing, getting good credit karma by like opening the doors for strangers, giving people money if they need it, letting people go ahead of you in the checkout lines, letting people come into the lane if you're driving. All of those things are going to give you more good credit karma. The way you interact with people out in society is where you can gain really easy credit with the universe, with whatever you believe. They're watching you. They know they know who you are and how you're acting. So when you act on, good, when you, again, with the law of attraction, whatever you give, you're going to receive back. So if you're having a bad day, try to stay away from people, or let people know I'm not in the mood, instead of, running your mouth and telling everyone the drama. And I've had that experience the past 2 days. I've had some things I've had to process. And luckily at this point in my life, I have some people in my life right now that I can process with who don't take that on themselves. And I'm a Pisces, and if you're a water sign in particular, especially a Pisces, or if you have it in your chart somewhere, wherever it is in your chart, that is your energetic sponge energy. So like you can pick up on energy and not necessarily know whose it was or why it came into your energetic field. As electromagnetic beings, we have about 25 feet around us that our energy can pick up on people. So like women, when you see a man and you're like, you get that hit in the pit of your stomach that there's potential danger, trust it, because the energy doesn't lie. That person that you're being, warned about has negative energy, thoughts, actions, abilities, either way. There's a reason our intuition is attached to our third eye, our heart. Our heart starts racing again. There's some sort of adrenaline rush. Your nervous system is warning you or feeling something, okay? Moving on, we have the King of Cups. This is all about your own stability and balance within your emotions. Again, doing everything you can to not let anyone dictate how you feel by continuing to walk away from things that just don't serve. They're not on your path. People, places, things, habits, behaviors. Walk away. You can always walk away. I'm the queen of walking away. And, you know, there's a little bit of grief every time you do, but, you know, if you can process through that grief, speaking of, we have the Five of Cups. So all of her cups just spilled, but there's this one that is still very much full. Oh, the one right by her. The biggest one. So instead of grieving or feeling sad or like this despair about having to walk away from things that you know aren't for you, allow yourself to be in this space of gratitude to the universe, to whoever you believe, even to yourself, of recognizing some potential patterns and not being willing to redo those, right? Like, I do not participate in my own oppression. I'm not going to repeat cycles that I've already completed, and when I recognize that in the people close to me, I'm going to give distance, right? It's a hard thing, but I mean, the more you practice, the easier it gets. And it's nothing personal. You can be respectful. I've had to set a firm boundary. I had to write a text. Yeah, the Eight of Wands coming out, fast forward movement. If you continue to do this, you're going to stay, you know, aligned with your own stuff. And the universe is going to bring it in a timely manner. Tuesday this past week, I was like, you know what, I want to focus on the bus. I want to focus on, you know, I've been distracted. I've been doing all these other things. But what I really want is a bus. I really want this ability to be mobile. So I told my landlord, because he is always out and about driving around, and I texted him and I said, hey, I'm back in the market for a bus. Let me know if you find something. And he was like, oh, I just saw one here in Holbrook. And so I got on Facebook Marketplace, and because there's not usually a lot here. We're in the middle of the desert, and so there's not a lot that usually comes through Holbrook. And if it is, it doesn't stay very long. And so I was like, okay, so I got on the internet and I started looking, and I found the ambulance. And I was a little hesitant at first, but I reached out because it was the good price. It was a good price that I really wanted. And I, you know, read the posting, and I was like, this seems legit, you know? And I was like, how far away is it, though? Because that's what I've been I'm like, I have no desire to go to Phoenix to go get a vehicle. And this one, it was 2 hours east of here, about 2 hours. And, you know, it was uncharted territory for me. I've never been in that part of the state. So I was very nervous. My car doesn't do very well in the heat, and, you know, we were going to pick it up on the hottest day. So I texted my landlord the listing, and I was like, hey, I found this. Do you have a guy that could help me go get it? And he said, yeah, dude. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I texted dude, and I was like, hey, do you want to be a part of this? So it took a couple days to manifest it, but since Tuesday to Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days, we manifested it, and it's at my house in front right now. So once you know what you want, once you stay dedicated to it, once you do, you know, like I said, it wasn't that much work. I've been looking for years, right? And nothing has been the right thing, but this is the right thing for us, which is why it worked out. And again, that's this mastery of the physical realm, understanding what you wants you. You know, this ambulance was just sitting in the middle of fucking nowhere on the land. It's going to turn into a hub for children, for joy, for events, for community. And I'm pretty sure it's haunted. Yesterday when I was in there, one of the doors like squeaked really like quietly, and I'm a medium, so I'm like, okay. I was like, hey, I'm like, you're gonna have so much fun in here, you know? I'm totally cool with it. But either way, I don't think there was any ill intent, but it is an ambulance. It's a 40-year-old ambulance. The ambulance is 3 years older than me. Wait, I'm 38. But yeah, it's an 84, and I was born in 87. So anyway, there could have been more than one entity or spirit attached, right? But either way, what you want wants you. Don't let anything get in your way, okay? Yeah, we have the Eight of Swords. Continue to reflect on what it is that is keeping you bound, right? People, places, things, behaviors, habits. You know, I was in a cycle of drinking beer the past few weeks, kind of a celebratory thing, but then it became tedious, and I was like, oh, I find myself in this cycle again. So I'm quitting, you know, and I'm just like, the universe wants you to thrive. They don't want you to be stuck. They want you to thrive. And we've all been given these gifts and strength and passion and, you know, leaning towards certain things that we enjoy for a reason. Life doesn't have to be so tedious and mundane. It can be fun. It can be rewarding, right? So whatever is not giving you the liberation, allow it to go, okay? And again, okay, so this Eight of Swords is in the middle of the Chariot and the Eight of Wands, and these two are the only cards in the tarot that indicate fast movement forward. So again, once you recognize what it is that is no longer serving you and you release it with love, you're gonna get whatever it is you want. It's either gonna come to you or you're going to find it. And then we have the Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. So just a reminder to stay balanced. We always have the choice. There's a choice between good and evil. There's a choice between dark and light. There's a choice between masculine and feminine energies. What we harness in any given moment is our choice. We have free will. So remember to do everything you can to remain balanced, remain stable in your own energy. This is really dope. So I hope this helps you. Let it go. I think that's what I'm going to call this. I think that's ultimately, you know, you can stay stuck in these cycles of victimhood, of blaming others, of addiction, right? Again, whether that is to certain cycles, right? I, as a person with a very addictive personality, I don't really resonate with addict because I think that has a really bad connotation from the 12-step program, and I am anti-12-step program. So as a person who cycles through different addictions, sometimes it's food, sometimes it's, I think it has a lot to do with my neurodivergence as well. The more I learn about autism, these are just kind of traits. I have ADHD as well. Like, these are kind of traits that I have as a person. And so as I learn about myself, as I learn about the things that I do, why I'm doing them, you know, allow yourself to meet yourself with curiosity instead of judgment. We've all been hurt, we've all been through things, but it's how we decide to get ourselves out of that that really speaks volumes about our character, and that brings in what it is that we're seeking, right? So don't stay in these cycles of abuse or self-abandonment or self-imposed bondage. Do everything you can. This red string theory is a theory of like always coming back to you, and it has a lot to do with like soulmates or people outside of you, but in this card it is very much returning home to your own heart after your heart got broken. These are chronologically the Three of Swords and then the Four of Swords. So returning back to your own home, cultivating that space of home within you so that everything you do outside of you is also very much a safe space. Okay? Have a good one.